Good day, JAMM. I'm Pastor Mike, and this is your Tuesday Devotional. Have you ever heard of a word called metaphor? Metaphor. Perhaps some of the older students have heard about it in English class. So basically, a metaphor is a way of experiencing one thing through another. Now, that might sound a bit complicated, but you might be surprised to know just how much metaphor you and I use every single day in our language. So, for example, when I say, I don't have time, I don't actually mean that I own time and I don't have any extra time to give out. Time will flow no matter how much I feel like I have of it or not. And this comes from the idea that time is valuable, hence the phrase, time is money. Here's another example. We might tell someone, wake up, or we might say that someone fell asleep. And this comes from the idea that being awake is upward and asleep is downward. And even though there is nothing literally up or down about being awake or being asleep, we give these ideas a direction. So why is this the case, you might ask? Why do we talk about one thing just to describe another? This is because you and I, we understand life through comparing. So for example, we know hot because we know cold. We know hunger because we've been full. And there's perhaps no man who better understood this idea than Jesus Christ himself. So did Jesus speak in metaphors too, I hear you asking? And my answer is most certainly yes. Because an extended metaphor, a longer metaphor with a story and a meaning behind it, we call that a parable. You've heard of parables, haven't you? Parables are basically metaphors in story form. So Jesus would often begin his teachings by saying, the kingdom of heaven is like. And he would go on and say, it's like a wedding feast, it's like a mustard seed, it's like a treasure hidden in a field, it's like a net in the sea. And he would compare it to all of these things because Jesus knew that we would have trouble understanding him if Jesus just told us what the kingdom of heaven was, because the kingdom of heaven is invisible and we've never seen it. So he would tell us, give us these images, these stories, these metaphors, so that we can have something to compare to that we already know. And the truth is in the Bible. But the meanings are often hard to understand. They are often hidden. And unless you and I learn the language of metaphor, we will never understand the Bible without anyone spelling it out for us. And it's God's design and Jesus' intention for us to learn how to use and understand metaphors well. So, with that, and also in acknowledging Star Wars Day, metaphors be with you. And the people of God say, Amen.